A Catholic church in Deer Park, Texas is on the road to recovery. A little over a year ago, an EF3 category tornado ripped through parts of both Deer Park and Pasadena, Texas. It hit St. Hyacinth Catholic Church particularly hard, destroying their religious education building, not to mention the roof damage to the church itself. So joining us here live in the studio to talk more about that is Father Reginald Samuels. He's the pastor at St. Hyacinth Catholic Church in Deer Park and bringing us up to speed with everything that's happened a little bit over a year ago now. So, Father Reginald, thank you so much for coming on, being here in the studio. Tell me, first off, tell me a little bit about, recap what had happened back on January 24th a year ago, because we'd heard about that tornado, destroyed organizations, schools, churches, all kinds of damage. What happened at St. Hyacinth?
What happened at St. Hyacinth on January 24th, 2023, as you said, an F3 tornado hit the Deer Park and the Pasadena community. Unfortunately, it laid a path of destruction through the communities, and my church, my parish home, my religious education building, along with my parish offices, were basically destroyed.
And and I saw you've been posting some of the pictures of all that is it on your Facebook page?
It's on my Facebook page, the Facebook page for the parish.
Okay, and so. And since then, you guys have been working to essentially rebuild the religious education center. Tell me about that work that's going on right now, because my understanding is the construction's happening right now.
Yeah, ever since the first day of right after the tornado, our property has been evaluated, and they've, the insurance companies and the contractors all have been so very helpful in getting us back on track. So right now we have we're under construction. Mm-hmm. We actually have a building that you can see that has replaced the religious education building along with our parish offices, and it's coming along great. Hopefully, we'll be finished by May 1st of 2024.
Okay, very good. So, like I had mentioned, the tornado itself destroyed the religious education center, but like you said, now that there's at least a structure in place that's being built that people can visibly see. It also damaged, as I mentioned, the roof of the church itself, which has since been repaired, and luckily I had the chance to visit there and see you there, so it looks beautiful. People can go to Mass. But, all of that took a while to fix itself, right, that roof?
Yeah, for the first 6 months after this, the tornado, we were very limited in the services that we could provide at the parish. We were down to one Mass immediately about 2 months after the tornado, and then we were able to fix up the church, fix all of the services, the electrical, plumbing, and all that other things that go to the church itself. So we were able to open up even more to Mass. So that was the most important thing that I felt that the community needed to get back to prayer, get back to serving, get back to having celebration of the Eucharist on that campus. So, and now we're back to our full schedule with the church. There's still items and issues that are going on. We have no bathrooms. Mm-hmm. We have portable bathrooms for the church. They're nice, but it's still not the same. Mm-hmm. But we're still able to have services, and we're still able to provide religious education. We're still able to have activities on the campus because a lot of the other parts of the campus have been renovated and have been fixed. So now we're just waiting and watching the new building go up, and it's just an exciting time.
Absolutely. I also want to give a credit to volunteers and people at work at St. Hyacinth, because you had mentioned that you're getting back to the regular schedule. I saw that on y'all's Facebook page on the St. Hyacinth Catholic Church. Y'all are still live streaming yes. some of the Masses, so that's always good to be able yes. to offer that for people. Again, looking ahead, you're hoping to get a lot of this stuff done by May. What purpose does the Religious Education Center provide for you guys? What all do you do there?
It provides additional meeting spaces for our organizations, along with our faith formation program. Mm-hmm. And also it allows for the parish offices, which are a part of that building as well, so that we can get back to our administrative part of taking care of the church.
And I want to highlight how big of a deal this is that things are coming along relatively quickly now and how exciting it is because St. Hyacinth, which again is located in Deer Park, is not necessarily the biggest church. How many families, what's the estimate in terms of how many people are there?
About 1,600 families.
About 1,600 families. So I know that you are so appreciative of every kind of support that you get from them and especially prayers as well. Take me back, Father Reginald, to January 24th, 2023, because you and I had met recently and talked about it and kind of how scary it was because you and the people there that work in the office really had to rely on prayer, which is so important. Tell me about that day.
Absolutely. On that day, it was just a regular day. It had been very nice. The weather had been going back and forth between being sunny and being raining. We were getting alerts that the thunderstorms were throughout the area at that time. And so after the lunch time, around 1:30 or so, we were all in our offices and just finished up our regular staff meetings, and we were all getting alerts on our phones saying, severe thunderstorms in the area, and we were getting a lot of warnings on our phones. And then the wind picked up, the rain picked up, and it really started getting really bad outside, and that's when we knew that something was going on. And so I, along with my staff who happened to be there, we all sheltered in place inside of our parish offices in the hallway. And it seemed like an eternity.
Mm-hmm.
The noise was really loud. The tornado basically came over the church, destroyed our buildings, destroyed our religious education building along with our parish offices while we were in it. And we were just praying and just waiting, Hail Mary, and just praying and waiting. And then it was all over. And it was, luckily, no one was hurt. The building basically collapsed around us.
Wow.
And thank God we were all okay. And we walked away and walked out of it. But walking out into a whole area that was just basically destroyed. There was just destruction everywhere. So
I'm sure there was nothing like it that you've ever.
Nothing. Never went through anything like that before.
Wow. Well, God bless, especially because you guys were in that hallway that wasn't destroyed. But you had mentioned to me and actually showed me some photos, Father Reginald, about how it had taken off, in at least the hallway, the roof and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So were you all there, the roof come off when you were actually there, or was it down the hall?
The roof came off of the education building,
Mm-hmm.
which is we were all connected. The building's all connected. However, after the fact, we learned that the portion that we were in, that we were sheltered in place in, the roof had raised up and set back down.
Oh, man.
And thank God we didn't know this until after the fact, after they were examining all of the damage. But they saw that the roof had come off the building.
Lifted up
and
then slammed back
down.
Wow.
So that's
a reason to give thanks every day.
Absolutely. And, there was one of my staff members, they lost their car. It was totaled. Mm-hmm. But thank God. The mayor of Deer Park was coming around after that fact, and he let us know that no one in Deer Park died. Wow. No one died, even though there were a lot of businesses along the area. A lot of my parishioners, a good number of my parishioners were affected by the tornado, but no one died.
Wow.
No one died.
That's incredible. And like I said, I imagine afterwards you had to just kind of walk around and think to yourself, what happened? What is all this? And I was going to say, even though I'd visited recently and saw you there were still some things that were still in place. I saw statues of Jesus, I think, that was still in place. So some of those things were left intact.
Yeah, left intact. There was a statue that was outside of the door of the Adoration Chapel that nothing happened to. It was a sign, so to speak, that God was there. He was there with us as we were praying. He was there.
Yeah.
In the middle of the storm, he was there.
Okay. Well, a good reminder to continue to pray for all of the construction effort and the recovery there at St. Hyacinth Catholic Church, because it's I'm sure it's a good feeling to know that it's coming along, that making some real progress on rebuilding and everything.
And I would like to thank everyone for their prayers and their support in helping us get back to making sure that we're there to praise God and to pray for each other.
Very good. If you're just now joining us, you're listening to Catholic Lunch Break on the Guadalupe Radio Network. This is Wyatt Goolsby, the Executive Director of KSHJ. I'm talking with Father Reginald Samuels. He's the pastor of St. Hyacinth Catholic Church in Deer Park, Texas. And not only that, Father Reginald, not only do you have that title, but you also have the title of Vicar of Catholics of African Descent for the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. Tell me a little about that role. How long have you had that role, and what does that entail?
Well, I've had the vicar position since January of 2019. I serve as an advocate for the African and African American community here in Galveston, Houston, and I'm not only an advocate, but I'm there to provide education, to provide programs, and to be a sounding board for the African and African American community. Catholic community in our diocese.
And are there certain big events during the year in particular that you go to or attend or do stuff with that?
Yeah, there are several big events. We just finished with our MLK Memorial Mass in January.
Mm-hmm.
We do celebrate Black Catholic History Month, which is in the month of November.
Okay.
And then there are several other activities to commemorate Juneteenth, Black History Month. So there are activities throughout the year that we put on, or that we support the parishes that are part of the Black Apostolate that they perform activities in.
Well, that seems like that's appropriate, because the Houston area is so diverse. I would think the biggest challenge for that, Father Reginald, is not finding people who want to participate, but the fact that everybody's so spread out that if you need to go and go to one place or another event and stuff like that, I imagine the challenge is just getting people to show up and attend, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me, if people want to participate or get involved with stuff like that, how could they do so?
Well, first of all, they can just email me.
Mm-hmm.
I do put out a newsletter, also a flock note
Mm-hmm.
that tells about the activities that are going on in the Archdiocese with the African and African American community. So just email me and I'll put you on the list.
Give me your email address in case they're listening.
It's rsamuels@sthyacintھ.org.
So,
or if you want to go to the Archdiocese website I have a small page on there for Catholics of African descent as well.
very good, excellent. A lot of good information there, and appreciate your coming here, Father Reginald. Make the trip all the way from Deer Park to come to our studio here. Mm-hmm. We really appreciate it. Again, Father Reginald Samuels, pastor of St. Hyacinth Catholic Church and the Vicar of Catholics of African Descent. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for your time.
Coming up after the break, we'll talk with a local priest about his extensive stamp bank and how he's selling commemorative stamps to benefit missionary work. You're listening to Catholic Lunch Break on the Guadalupe Radio Network.